The Book of Personal Transformation by Dr. Ong Tien Kwan, also known as Dr. Tim Ong. Contents: Introduction. Chapter 1. Mind is the forerunner of all states. Chapter 2. Change your beliefs and you change your life. Chapter 3. Principle of Accountability. Chapter 4. Open your heart to love. Chapter 5. Whatever you resist, persist. Chapter 6. 3 stumbling blocks and their antidotes. Chapter 7. Attitude of gratitude, altruistic joy, and abundance. Chapter 8. Creating your day. Chapter 9. Crystallizing your thoughts. Chapter 10. Daily checklist for personal transformation. Final words. Introduction. My interest in personal transformation started way back in 1986. At that time, I was still a medical student. There were not many gurus then compared to now, and good self-help books and resources were hard to come by. But I was determined to make a success of my life, and so I laid my hands on whatever books and resources I could find, and learned from all of them. I had an open mind, and that I realized was critically important for my success today. Once I learned the secrets of success, I immediately put them into practice. Pretty soon, I was reaping the rewards of my faith in what I have learned. The one thing I learned was that these secrets of success were not secrets at all. Anyone who has learned this knowledge and put it into practice in his or her life will definitely create a success for himself or herself. All these secrets are nothing but universal laws, and being universal laws, they are predictable and replicable. It works for everyone. Anyone who wants to transform himself or herself needs to start with this knowledge. This book provides you with that critical knowledge. The knowledge presented here is not new, of course. In fact, it is old, very old. Thus, I call this knowledge ancient wisdom. These are the teachings handed down to us from mystics and sages of old. Their wisdom is timeless. What I have done here is to present it in a contemporary manner that you can easily understand. There is an old saying, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. I believe in it, and I believe that you did not come across this book by chance. It happens because you attracted it into your life. However, here's a word of caution. The principles presented here may seem simple, even obvious, and there is a danger that because of their simplicity, they may be regarded as useless. That would be the greatest mistake. While they are simple to understand, these principles are not easy to follow and even more difficult to master. It has been said that even an 8-year-old child may understand them, but an 80-year-old man may not practice them unless he puts in the right effort. So spend some time reading and understanding the universal principles in this book. Then start reinventing yourself and your life by putting these principles into practice in your life. Begin to live your life well and choose to be the master of your own destiny. There are 10 articles or chapters in this book. Each one touches on a very important principle of success and happiness. Put into practice each one of them and you will change your life forever. You will be able to achieve what you want in life. Remember that knowledge alone is not enough. You must practice what you have learned. I cannot emphasize this enough. Make each one of these principles a part of your life and you will achieve success and happiness. To help you put these principles into practice, I have also provided some useful resources at the end of this book to make it easier for you to implement them. These principles have worked for me and for countless others who are now enjoying their successes and happiness. I would like you to join the Success Club. To your success and happiness. Dr. Tim Ong, 25th December 2004. Chapter 1. Mind is the forerunner of all states. Our lives and the circumstances we live in are largely the result of our own thoughts and beliefs. The sum total of our thoughts, if they are positive, will result in a positive life for us. The converse is just as true. If we think negatively most of the time, we tend to attract negative circumstances into our life. This great truth is known to all mystics and ancient sages. They may have said it in different ways, but they all point to the same thing. The Buddhists know this as the law of karma. Jesus said, "You reap what you sow." If you plant an apple seed, you get an apple tree. The seed is your thought imprint. The apple tree is what is manifested in your physical world. The ancient Egyptians called this phenomenon as within, so without. What they mean is that our outer physical world and circumstances are merely reflections of our inner mental realities. Our thoughts are energetic waves, and they are subjected to the law of sympathetic resonance. According to this law, when an object with a specific frequency vibrates and is brought near another object with similar frequency, it will cause the second object to vibrate as well. The classic example for this is that of a singer with a high-pitched voice breaking a glass. In science classes, this same principle is demonstrated by bringing a vibrating tuning fork to another tuning fork with similar frequency. The second tuning fork will start to vibrate on its own. In modern times, this universal principle is called the universal law of attraction. It is important to note that the second object can only vibrate if it is of similar frequency to the first object. What this means is that like attracts like. The same principle applies to our thoughts and beliefs. The more good thoughts we have, the better our lives will be. The more positive thoughts we have, the more positive circumstances we encounter in our lives. The same is true with the negative. Another important principle to remember is that our mind cannot differentiate good from bad. More accurately, our subconscious mind cannot differentiate the good from the bad. This is because our subconscious mind largely represents our mind in its natural state, a mind that is pure and non-judgmental. Thus, our conscious mind gets the important task of being the gatekeeper, guarding the thoughts that get into our subconscious mind. If you've ever tried to guard the thoughts that get into your subconscious mind, then you will know what a formidable task this is. The more mindful or aware you are, the easier it is to guard what goes through your mind. We will deal with this mindfulness or self-awareness later. Here is an exercise that you can use to start applying these principles in your life. Guard every thought carefully. Be a conscious gatekeeper to your subconscious mind. Remember that whatever you think about, especially when combined with the emotions of desire or fear, you will attract into your life. So make sure you attract what you want for your life by constantly thinking only about what you truly want. Feed your mind constantly with new information, images, and ideas of the person you want to be and the life you want to live. By creating this inner attitude of your mind, you change the outer aspects of your reality. Chapter 2. Change your beliefs and you change your life. Our mind is to our body what the software is to the computer. It controls the body. Whatever words and deeds that come out through your mouth or your body must first be conceived in your mind. Our belief system is comparable to the computer's operating system. It determines 1. How we respond or react to the external world and circumstances, and 2. What we attract into our life. If you look carefully at yourself, you will realize that how you respond to a certain situation is largely dependent on your core beliefs. If you believe that the world out there is a dog-eat-dog world, you will respond in a certain way. You will put on your guard when you deal with people around you with a greater degree of mistrust and apprehension. This is a common mindset in the business world. Contrast that with your mindset when you are in a sacred place, for example, in a church or a temple. Your responses toward people in such places are entirely different from your usual dealing with your business associates. Even your words become softer and gentler. Your entire mannerism changes. So how we respond to the external world depends on our core beliefs. The second fact to remember, and this is important if we want to change our life, is that our core beliefs also determine what we attract into our life. This is consistent with the universal law of attraction, that is, like attracts like. This is because our belief system is like our computer's operating system. If your computer is running a Windows operating system, your mind will only be attracted to softwares and programs that are compatible with the Windows environment. It automatically overlooks programs for Macs and Linux because you know you cannot run those programs in your PC. Thus, our belief system may limit our possibilities in life. Likewise, if you believe in scarcity as opposed to a belief in abundance, you will attract circumstances into your life that is consistent with that belief, and so you will find yourself in constant struggle to accumulate the wealth you want. Note that what you believe need not be what you want. What this means is that whatever your mind conceives and believes, it achieves. without fail. In fact, this truth is so important that I will repeat it once more. Whatever your mind conceives and believes, it achieves without fail. Like a seed, the imprints in our mind will bear fruit when circumstances are conducive for its ripening. How fast and whether a belief manifests itself in our physical reality is dependent on 1. The strength of our belief or the intensity of our beliefs, and 2. The duration we hold that belief. The stronger and longer we hold our belief, the more likely it is to crystallize or come true in our life. By knowing this, we can therefore change our life by changing our belief systems. What we need to do is to recognize our present belief systems, which are not working for us, and replace those beliefs with those that will work in our favor. Hold these new beliefs long enough and will change the outer reality of our life. This is the key to reinventing your life. Exercise. Here is how you can apply this principle in your life. Sift through your mind and identify your core beliefs. Write them down and see for yourself how your behavior has been consistent with your core beliefs. Select and change the core beliefs that are not working for you with those that work. For example, if you previously believed in scarcity, you should now replace that with the belief in abundance. Hold this new belief strongly and long enough, and your behavior will automatically change to become consistent with your new belief, and you will attract abundance into your life. That's a certainty. Chapter 3. Principle of Accountability. Once we understand the concept of as we sow, so we reap, we will then understand that whatever we get out of our lives is a result of what we have planted in our mind. Our past mental imprints determine our present situation in life, and the mental imprints that we plant now will determine our future situation. The ancient sages likened this to planting a garden. If we want a beautiful garden, we will have to selectively plant beautiful plants. What is equally important is that we must constantly pull out the weeds. Otherwise, our garden will be overrun by weeds, obscuring the beautiful plants. Likewise, to plant a beautiful life, we must select only the mental imprints that we want and constantly weed out the useless or harmful mental imprints. This, of course, requires constant mindfulness. We need to continuously guard what goes past our conscious mind into our subconscious mind. What this means is that we are fully responsible and accountable for our lives. We cannot blame anyone or anything for what is happening in our lives. Unfortunately, we often have this unhealthy tendency to blame someone or something. We unconsciously look for someone to blame when things go wrong in our lives, rather than accept that we reap what we sow. Funnily though, when good things come into our lives, we are somehow able to believe that we deserve them. We rarely look outside for someone to praise. If we would blame others for the bad things, why do we not praise others for the good things in our lives? Blaming others is our way of avoiding taking responsibility for our lives. As long as we do that, we will never be the master of our life. To counter this unhealthy tendency, we should instead cultivate a sense of gratitude towards all that we receive. One of the ways I do this is by repeating the following poem like a mantra, as often as I can remember. Thank you for the abundance. Thank you for the wealth. Thank you for all the happiness, protection, and good health. Repeat this mantra consistently every night before you sleep, and you will experience the pleasant changes in your life. Exercise. Here are 2 other methods you can use to cultivate a sense of gratitude. 1. The gratitude book. At the end of each day, review your day and count your blessings. Write this down in a little notebook. You may call this notebook your gratitude book. By doing this consistently, you'll be retraining your mind to focus on the positive aspects of your life. Why is this important? Because like attracts like. The more you focus on the positive in life, the more positive things will come your way. Exercise 2. Altruistic joy. Altruistic joy is a concept borrowed from the Buddhists. It means rejoicing at other people's good fortune. This practice counters our tendency to be envious of another person's success. Each time we rejoice at another's success, we are basically planting joyful imprints in our mind, thereby sowing seeds of joy for our own future.